So I'm strolling on Twitter. I'm looking at a few things, and they got to talking about Josh Jacobs, talking about how much it would cost to bring him back. And cap expert Michael Janetti is talking about how much it would be to bring him back. And shout out to your boy Q from Unnecessary Roughness. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure to do so. And he got some new YouTube page. Make sure to check it out because great content. And we're gonna talk about it in this one, man, because I think it's a very interesting topic, especially when you look at the way our cap is set up for next year and how much we've already invested into the offense. So make sure to rate that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, man. Let's get into it. Now, like I said, shout out to your boy Q from Unnecessary Roughness. Make sure to go check him out because he's bringing us some great resources from Michael Janetti over at Spot Track, a cap expert, saying that it is no question, quote unquote, no question, the Raiders franchise tag Josh Jacobs next year. Now, the interesting thing about this is just prior to last week, just prior to playing the Seahawks, is that we heard that he wanted to test free agency. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I seen. Shout out to Raiders Scout because he put that information out, and I seen it from other sources as well, that he wanted to test free agency. Now, the most interesting thing about this is that we could franchise tag him. Now, would that cause a rift amongst the new regime and Josh Jacobs? Because you think about this. Isn't that kind of sneak dissing? The simple fact you didn't even re-sign him or pick up his fifth-year option, that one right there is kind of a low blow, especially for him to come out here and perform the way he has. Then you want to talk about what the regime has done around him. They went out and re-signed Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Derek Carr, trade for Devontae Adams, and they're showing, hey, we're willing to pay these people. Yet, half of them didn't even produce. Half of them ain't even done shit. Chandler Jones on defense side of the ball, bring him in, hasn't earned the trust of any Raiders players, hasn't been here at all, hasn't done anything for this team, and he's getting a bag. So how come Josh Jacobs couldn't get a bag? You talk about Darren Waller, a guy that had 2 years left on his contract. 2 years left on his contract. And we're going to give him a bag before Josh Jacobs. We should have had Waller do what Josh Jacobs did and come out here and prove it to us, especially because Waller's coming off of a season with injuries, and he didn't produce as much as he usually does. Now, you talk about this season, he's basically in the same boat, if not worse. But Josh Jacobs is sitting here on his last year of his deal, and you only want to give him a 1-year deal after this on the franchise tag? That's kind of disrespectful, man. If anything, you need to take the money from Waller and give it to Jacobs and just have him here for long term to see if we could somehow finagle something to where we could get a better deal if we sign him long term. Because you talk about the top tier running backs, you have CMC, Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, and I believe there's one more. And I don't think Ezekiel Elliott's worth the $15 million he's getting APY, but I'm just speaking in terms of cap and the contracts. Those are the top tier running backs. Dalvin Cook is getting around 12 and a half, and I believe CMC is the guy at the top to 15 to 16. So when you talk about these caliber of running backs, when you talk about Alvin Kamara, he's getting 12 to 15 million. That's where I would probably put Josh Jacobs in that tier, because him and Alvin Kamara, in my opinion, have those similarities where they're not the fastest guys at all by any means, but they are very good at what they do and their skill set at making people miss, being able to do what they do between the tackles and outside the tackles as well. So when you talk about Josh Jacobs getting a deal, it's going to cost. So somehow, in some way, we're going to have to compromise on this offense. Maybe Derek Carr is willing to take a little bit less because his contract is going to go from $20 million this year to getting $35 million next year. Hunter Renfrow is going to go from getting $3 million this year to $13 million next year. And that's, $25 million difference all on the offense. Then you want to boost Josh Jacobs' contract up. That's going to put it up to around $30 million extra dollars we're spending on offense. Devontae Adams' contract will go up. So it's going to be interesting how they chop this one up, and really if they franchise tag him, I think it's really the best bet, but at the same time, it's kind of sneak dissing, like I said, and disrespectful because you pay Hunter Renfrow, you pay Darren Waller, two guys that haven't even been on the damn field, especially Darren Waller, who had 2 years left on his contract. We could have waited. We could have waited to sign Darren Waller because he had 2 years left, but we didn't. And if you don't do something with Josh Jacobs and you let him walk for free, I think this fan base will definitely be calling for Josh McDaniels' head, because at that point, it's not only the play calling, it's not only some of the decisions that you've been making, but not bringing back Josh Jacobs after the kind of year he's doing, and he solidifies his bag against Seattle, playing hurt, having a messed up calf throughout the week, going into this week, dealing with injury, and he's still trying to prove that he's that guy. Still going out there doing the numbers he did with an injury. Where's Darren Waller at? Why can't he do that? Everyone giving him an excuse saying the hamstring is bothering him so badly and he's eligible to come back against the Rams. he better come back. Because if Keenan Allen over there for the Chargers came back off of that hamstring injury, and I know they vary, but if you had Josh Jacobs fighting through these injuries, and he's playing on his last year of his contract, doesn't it make sense for Darren Waller to come back since he already got the bag? I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the Josh Jacobs contract. Should we sign him to a long-term deal like we did the rest of these dudes? Or should we just give him that franchise tag? Mind you, the franchise tag, when Michael said from Spot Track, shout out to him, he was on Necessary Roughness with your boy Q. Make sure to resource that. He said it would be 12 to 12.5 to franchise tag Jacobs. So let me know down in the comments. Should we give him a contract that's 3 to 4 million? See if we could save some money that way. Or should we just franchise tag him and see how he does next year as well? And if he does the same, mind you, if he does just as good, or he just continues to stay even keel, man, we might have to owe him a little bit more money, because if Jonathan Taylor goes out there and he's going to be looking for a bag, he will be the highest paid running back, with no question, in my opinion. Jonathan Taylor is going to get a bag. So we got to think about that. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, what you guys would do. Darren Waller, maybe he needs to compromise. Derek Carr could compromise a little bit, so then we could give Josh Jacobs some money. I understand we have a lot already allocated to the offense, and we need to do something to bring him back, because I don't think you could replace the kind of talent that Josh Jacobs has displayed for us. Now, running back is easier position to replace, but not great players. And I think he's proven that. And he's earned my respect, and he's earned that contract by far. Anybody on this team has earned a contract. It is him. So let me know down in the comments, man. Don't forget to hit that like button. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, ready to tape.